But the dating scene, girl, ghetto. Not just in Texas. I feel like in the US, I've just not had... Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Lebone and this is my channel where I talk about my international student experience in the US. I'm a former au pair, so I've got videos about that. And welcome. Okay, so today I'm gonna do a little Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram what was y'all's questions, so it's gonna be a quick video. Okay, hold on, let me just start with the chill questions because the first question is like, have you ever been cheated on? Let's start off in a decent manner. Okay, how do you stay motivated? Honestly, like obviously I do lose motivation at times, but it's all about discipline and it's all about wanting to achieve your goal or wanting to get to where you need to be. I could not have motivation to do something, but my why, the reason why I want to be where I want to be, will eventually at some point get me the motivation, light a fire under my ass. I don't know necessarily how I particularly stay motivated. Like I will listen to motivational videos if my motivation runs out. I will watch a lot of YouTubers that live kind of lifestyle that I'm living, or YouTubers who are living a life that I want, you know, educated, young, black, independent women. So because that's a life that I strive for, so I typically want to either watch that on my screen, YouTube, or just follow someone on Instagram or TikTok. That's what makes me motivated. And always reading like past journal entries that I've written, watching like a past YouTube video that I've posted where I want to, like, what also gets me is watching videos when I was an au pair, working hard to be what I am today, and I'll be like, listen, I cannot disappoint that girl, so I need to work hard and I need to make sure that that Lebone there is gonna be proud of the future Lebone, if that makes sense. Second question, are you gonna ever come back to SA? Am I going to come back? Yes, of course, that is home. I will come back as a visitor though. Right now, you know, I'm on this journey of completing or obtaining my education. It's gonna take a couple of years because I'm trying to get educated to the highest level. So that could be a master's, that could be a PhD. I know it works differently, the education system back home, where it's like undergrad, honors, masters, or whatever. Whereas here it's just undergrad, postgrad, and PhD. So I'm gonna come back home once either all of those have been obtained, or I'm gonna visit once in a while, but actually permanently living in SA, I'm not sure. I don't see that for at least the next 5 years for me. Based on the fact that I'm pursuing an education in the US. I have nothing against SA. SA is home. That's where my family is. That's where I was brought up. My roots, my culture, tradition, everything is back home. And it's always good to go home. It's always good to visit and be surrounded by your loved ones, people who are your #1 cheerleaders. That's like the most important thing. So it's not like I'm ashamed of SA. I don't want to live in SA. It's just that the educational route that I'm taking would benefit me a lot in the US because there's more opportunities, if that makes sense. Okay, what is your biggest achievement thus far? Ooh. My biggest achievement is definitely studying in the US, even though I have not obtained any degree of some sort, but I will be graduating in 2 months, so I can see almost the first lap being over because there's way more laps to go, but the first lap is almost over and I can see the finish line. My biggest achievement is just, you know, studying here. Like at first I thought that it was not going to be attainable. A lot of people were literally putting their doubts and fears on me, and I thought that they don't know who I am. Like once I'm committed to something, I'm going to get it. And the fact that I did actually go after that and I got it, it's my biggest achievement. That tells me I can go for whatever I want to go for if I put my mind, my soul, my energy into it. And yeah. Why did you decide to study that side instead of SA? How's the education system? So one of the reasons why I decided to study in the US was, of course, I was an au pair here. And then in my second year, I lived in California and Stanford's university to be specific. And I started learning about the US education system while I was at Stanford. I was like, wait, I didn't actually realize how prestigious Stanford was until, I don't know, a couple months into living there. I was like, wait, I'm actually at Stanford University. Like, this is one of the best universities in the world, if not in the US. So I got an interest to, I guess, study here because I know that education at a prestigious school can really get you far, and opportunities, and get you the exposure that you need for growth. So I also applied to the University of Pretoria to pursue being an audiologist. I was going to study audiology, but I got accepted, and I also got accepted in the US. And you know, I also think my family was pushing me to study abroad, and I also wanted to stay in the US much longer. So that is what happened, and that's why I chose studying in the US. But if that didn't work out, I was going to be an audiologist at the University of Pretoria. And how's the education system? The system is fine. I find it easy, and I find it easy. The education system is fine. I didn't have any trouble transitioning from what I knew in matric to what, you know, I was doing the first year of college, if that makes sense. What advice would you give someone in their 20s? Oh my gosh, thank you for this question. What advice would I give someone in their 20s? The 20s are for you. Your 20s are for you to explore who you are as an individual, for you to understand who you are, where you come from, what you want to do with your life. And advice is that use your 20s to figure out what you want to do in life. Use your 20s to find your passions. Do whatever you've always wanted to do. If you wanted to dance, if you wanted to be a cook, it's your decade to explore things. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what pressure people put on you. People do say use your 20s to work hard and like get money and whatever. That's okay too, you can do that. But for me personally, I feel like I used my early 20s to explore what I wanted and what I wanted to do with my life. And that 2-3 years that I got, not that I know what I want to do with my life, but it got me like started. Now I have a direction, or I know at least where my life is headed. And that's the advice I would say. Do what you want to do, explore, use the time to figure things out. If you want to travel, do it when you're young. Do it when you don't have any obligations or responsibilities or whatever the case might be. Work as much jobs as you can, meaning expose yourself to different fields. I wish that I had worked a couple of jobs before going the route that I'm going, because yeah, psychology is interesting, is great, and part of the reason why I chose psychology was because of my experiences in my au pair year. However, I do believe if you are working in tech, if you are doing something in medicine, if you're being a medical assistant, if you just having different jobs, seeing where your interests lie, it can get you the exposure, and you can learn so much from each job. But at the same time, that could be seen as wasting your time because you you're dipping your toes in too many pools or whatever. But explore careers, explore different fields, because you don't want to study medicine, do all the years for medicine, only to find out that's not for you, because then you would have wasted so many years, you know? Another advice, guys, your 20s, don't focus on a random schmegler guy. Like, we're thinking, focus on you and what you want to do. No guy should ever come in the way of your dreams, your aspirations, your education, nothing. Especially if it's just like some regular schmegler guy. That's just like, no. Another advice in your 20s is that be smart, okay? And I know that's very random, but be smart, be wise. It's hard to be wise in your 20s, but be an individual, like do things that will benefit you. And I think I'm going on, like, I'm being repetitive here, but do things that benefit you and your life. Choose you. I'm just gonna keep it at that. Choose you. Save money. Don't blow all of your money off. Don't sleep with millions of people. Don't go to parties and get drunk and waste your money. Fine, that could be some socializing of some sort, but don't spend every single weekend doing that. Like, I would rather have you spend your weekend networking, socializing with individuals from different job fields, different careers. Build your network. Like, get exposure to people that can like help you open doors here. So that's another thing I would say. That's another advice I would give. How's life in your 20s? My life in my 20s so far has consisted of hard work. It has consisted of fun, some travel. My life has consisted of heartbreaks, people sabotaging, friends coming and going, me growing, having growth, me realizing my worth and how strong of an individual I am. And to do all of those things, it does take a lot of lonely time. It takes a lot of time. Like I cannot tell you guys how many times I've been lonely and like depressed. I'm changing all of the time. I am changing. I'm going through different phases of life, and I could have a friend right now that won't be my friend in the next year, because my mindset, the way I think, which is mindset, that's so redundant, the way I view life, the way I view money, the way I view people could be different from now. And I'm always elevating, in my opinion. I'm always looking for things to better my life. I'm looking for people I'm looking for people who can surround me, who think the way that I do. Like, I'm not gonna be friends with people that, one, don't believe in education. I'm a huge believer of education. I'm a huge believer in education. And if you don't believe in education, then you think that my values and your values don't align, which is totally fine. But along the line somewhere, we're gonna clash because of my values and my opinions versus yours, but my life in my 20s has been a roller coaster ride. I am so thankful for all the opportunities that I've had. I am so thankful for all the people that I've met, the networks that I've made. I'm grateful for the people that have broken my trust. I am thankful for the people that I have left and walked out of their lives because they just had no value. They they had no substance in my life anymore. So my 20s has been a roller coaster ride. I'll be 24, and I still feel like I'm always learning. Every single time I'm always learning about who Lebone is and what Lebone stands for, what she believes in, and I'm always staying true to myself. So yeah. Okay. Next question. Biggest lesson you've learned in 2023? Which is this year. This is gonna be a word, and I'm gonna try to keep it as short and brief as possible. But the biggest lesson that I have learned so far in 2023 is accepting help. Accepting help from people who care about you, who love you, who want to see you succeed. I'm an individual that if I don't ask for your help, I don't need it. I got me. And I'll make sure I get myself out of whatever situation that I'm in. But I've realized it is okay to let someone help you, especially if they love you. It is okay for someone to help you pay for things. It is okay for someone to give you advice, even if you didn't ask for it. It is okay for someone to be like, hey Lebonem, you being hard on yourself, or hey Lebonem, you working so hard, let me take care of you. That was the hardest thing I had to learn, is letting someone alleviate some of my stress, some of my, whatever burdens I've had. And I had to unlearn a lot of things that obviously, I think, in my opinion, got me to where I am. When you realize in the long run, it is not healthy to be constantly like da on the go, and it's like, long story short, I had to learn to accept help and to stop being this brave, independent Black woman, which I'm very proud of, and I will always be that. But it is okay sometimes to just let somebody else handle some things. And I'm glad that I found someone that is willing to alleviate some of the stress that I have. And I'll just leave it at that. Slay. How do you deal with homesickness? Girl, one, which I don't think I've ever said this, but I don't miss home a lot. When I do miss home, I obviously cry about it. I call my family and I'll feel fine again because, you know, they'll encourage me and tell me what I'm doing is good for me, da 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 da. And then we keep it pushing. How is dating in the state that you are at? Not sure which state you're studying in. Well, I'm in Texas. I was not dating because clearly the dating scene, apps, whatever, is horrendous. It is ghetto. If you do not know your worth, if you do not know what kind of woman you are, what you believe in and what kind of man you're looking for, if you're looking for a high value man or if you're looking for a man that does X, Y, and Z, sometimes you're not going to find it on a dating app. Sometimes that's just gonna come naturally to you by you being out there networking. Okay, but the dating scene, ghetto. Not just in Texas. I feel like in the US, I've just not had good experiences dating people here. And I think part of the reason is that I know what I want and I know what I'm not going to, tolerate. And the moment I tolerated, I taught myself a lesson not to ever tolerate. Have standards. Never lower your standards. And here's what I'm gonna say. I've been meaning to make a video about this on the au pair channel, but I really want to give au pairs advice about dating in the US because it doesn't mean if you're an au pair and maybe if you don't have your education just of yet, you're not of value, you're not worth it. Baby girl, American men will kind of rub it in your face that you are an au pair or you are not yet established, so why should I be? Babes, the door. Exit that way. Wrap it up. Exit that way. Because who are you? But I'm gonna put a pin on that. Dating scene in the state where I was at, horrible, but I got lucky and found somebody, so yeah. Can I get a full scholarship in California as an international student? Babes, you can get a full scholarship in any state you want. You can study wherever you want to study at, or you can study where you get accepted at. In terms of full scholarship, you have to be an outstanding student with many extracurricular activities, with many volunteering opportunities that you have done. Like, you have to be outstanding. Not just outstanding in the US pool, but in the international pool, okay? You're competing with students from China, India, Philippines, South Africa, Nigeria. Like, doesn't mean you have the tag international student. It does make you special in a way, but the competitiveness is high. So yes, you can get a full scholarship wherever. It's just depending on which school you apply to, where the school is at, and how many international students apply to that school. How has living abroad been? Like, overall, from being an au pair to a student? Girl, I have had a good time. I'll say I've had an okay time. I am grateful once again for all the people that I've met, for all the opportunities that have come my way. I have always tried to make the best of any situation that comes my way. I think that it was a huge shock for me transitioning from being an au pair to being an international student, because there's so many perks, there's so many things that are nice about being an au pair, like staying in a host family's home, not having to pay for your phone, not having to do rent, groceries, stuff like that. When you become a student, you're all on your own and you kind of have to figure it out. So that was one of the hardest things I had to do, was snapping out of that I'm an au pair mindset to, hey, you are studying here now. You need to get your degree now. You need to go get groceries. You need to find a place to stay. You need to pay your phone bill. You need to figure it out. And I figured it out. So I think that was just like the biggest major transitions that I had to do. Last question before I go back to the other one. But are you considering staying in the US forever? Forever? I don't know. Right now, in my mind, it depends on so many factors. It depends on so many things. But other than that, those were all the questions that were asked. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you click on that subscribe button, like button, comment down below, and also go please subscribe to Au Pair Corner. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.